The living room in my childhood home in Austin, Texas, buzzed with an oppressive silence as the family meeting unfolded, the hum of the ceiling fan doing little to ease the tension. I stood near the doorway, my hands trembling slightly as my father's voice cut through the air. "You brought this on yourself," he growled, his belt snapping against my thigh with a crack that echoed off the pristine walls. All I'd said was no. No to washing my brother Liam's underwear, no to cleaning his late-night snack messes, no to being the maid they'd molded me into. My mother's voice sliced in, sharp and cold. "You're a girl, Elise. You serve him. He's a boy. He deserves better." That moment should have shattered me. It didn't. It completed a resolve I'd been forging in silence for years. They thought the pain would bend me back into line, but they didn't know it was the last time they'd ever lay hands on me, issue orders, or use me. I left that night, not with a scream or a scandal, but with a quiet precision that would dismantle them from within. People often said our house was perfect. The lawn manicured, windows gleaming, Liam's shirts always crisp, Dad's coffee steaming at dawn. They assumed it was Mom's doing, never noticing me. The unseen hands behind every chore, every meal, every list taped to the fridge. I'm Elise Carter, 25, and for most of my life, I was my family's shadow. From age 8, I learned usefulness was my only currency. Not love, not respect, just utility. Caleb never lifted a finger. If he spilled soda on the rug, I scrubbed it out. If he needed his baseball uniform pressed at midnight, I stayed up. If he flunked a quiz, I was blamed for not tutoring him. "You're the girl," Mom would say, arms crossed like it was gospel. "Girls keep the house running." I believed if I worked harder, they'd see me as more than a shadow. But Liam remained the son, the golden boy, while I faded into service. Dad ran the house like a military outpost. No warmth, just commands. He preached discipline as strength, obedience as respect. "You're not here to argue, Elise," he'd say when I questioned a task, his glare a warning. That word, contribute, became a leash, meaning silence and labor, not family. I did it all. Made beds, folded laundry, memorized grocery lists, ironed pleats, soaked blood from Liam's uniforms after his fights. He never thanked me, just tossed more demands my way. It was a quiet servitude, grinding me down until my hands forgot what it felt like to rest, my voice buried under their expectations. The family meeting that night wasn't about unity. It was a tribunal. I entered the living room to find them seated. Dad in his recliner, Liam sprawled on the couch, Mom standing with crossed arms. "Sit," Dad ordered. I didn't. Liam spoke first. "You're slacking. My laundry's a mess. My bathroom's dirty." Mom tilted her head, disappointed. "He's 16. He deserves better." I blinked. "He can do it himself. I cook, clean, everything. It's never enough." Dad's voice turned icy. "You're a girl. You were raised to serve. That's how it works." "No," I said. "That's your world. I'm done." He lunged, belt in hand, swinging without warning. The first strike hit my thigh, the second my back, the third my arm. I gritted my teeth, stumbling but not falling. "You've forgotten your place," he roared. Liam watched, unmoved. Mom's eyes held satisfaction, not shock. They saw me as a failed tool, not a daughter. When he stopped, exhausted, I straightened. "I'm not your servant," I said, voice steady, and walked out. No suitcase, no tears, just my backpack with a hoodie, charger, and a notebook of my silent tally. I walked 2 miles to Jenna's place, my best friend since middle school. Her porch light glowed, and when she opened the door, seeing my bruises, she didn't ask. "Come in," she said. That night I slept on a yoga mat, hoodie as a pillow, ribs aching, arm throbbing. But no one demanded anything. No dinner, no silence. The next morning, Jenna's mom made pancakes, syrup dripping, laughter filling the kitchen. I sat, feeling out of place. "Okay, staying a few days?" she asked gently, eyeing my arm. "More?" They gave me a blanket, cleared a storage room corner, added a mattress and dresser. It wasn't perfect, but it was mine. I waited for a call, a text, anything. None came. My phone stayed silent. Their neglect, now my freedom. I opened my notebook, titled a page, Things I Did Before They Said I Wasn't Enough. I listed meals, laundry, blame I took for Liam, apologies I didn't owe. The list grew, 10 pages, then 20, a ledger of unpaid labor. They owed me respect, care, acknowledgement, and I'd make them feel the absence. I filed for financial independence, revoking their access to my records, got a new debit card, locked my phone line. I scanned my bruises, not for police yet, just proof. 3 weeks passed, no contact. Then Jenna's mom mentioned, saw your mom at the store, worn out, struggling with milk. I nodded. Maya, Jenna's cousin, sent a photo. Liam at a laundromat. Clothes in a bag, furious. Dad missed work, snapped at clients, got a write-up. A text came. Mom's Caleb's awards dinner Friday. Suits aren't ironed. Come home. No apology. Another. Dad's, this is childish. Apologize, earn your place. I laughed, screenshotting them. I enrolled in a community college nursing program, lived at Jenna's, studied late. Their house faltered. Liam skipped school. Mom sought church help. Dad's stress mounted. They told people I'd left for an internship, a lie to save face. I packed a box, chore lists, a birthday card with "Make Us Proud," a broken locket saying "We didn't have to keep you," and my 52-page ledger titled Unpaid Labor, ages 8 to 25. I left it on their porch at dawn. Maya texted, Dad opened it, pale. They'd feel my absence, not with drama, but with the truth I'd documented. What would this silence bring next? That question hung, a quiet storm brewing. The dawn light barely touched the streets of Austin as I left the box on my family's porch. The thud of its weight against the wood, a quiet declaration. The bruises on my thigh and arm throbbed, a reminder of the belt's sting from the family meeting, but my resolve was steel. I'd walked away from Dad's violence, Mom's cold justification, and Liam's smug entitlement, carrying only my backpack with its hidden notebook, a ledger of years spent serving them. Jenna's spare room had become my refuge, and the silence from my parents was no longer their weapon. It was mine. I documented their demands, their neglect, and now they'd feel the void I'd left. Maya's text confirmed Dad's pale reaction to the box, but what would this absence unravel next? That question simmered, a quiet fire urging me forward. The days after leaving were a mix of relief and vigilance. I slept on the mattress in Jenna's storage room. The creak of its frame a new rhythm, my ribs aching less each morning. Jenna's mom, Carla, made pancakes with real maple syrup, her kitchen filled with laughter I'd never known at home. You okay staying longer? She asked, glancing at my fading bruises. I nodded. As long as you'll have me. They cleared space, adding a second-hand lamp, a chipped mug I claimed as mine. I waited for a call. Are you safe? Come back? But my phone stayed silent, their neglect now a gift. I opened my notebook, titled A Fresh Page, What They Lose Without Me. I listed their dependencies, meals I cooked, laundry I folded, Liam's school prep, each entry a brick in the wall I'd built between us. I took action. I filed for financial independence, revoking their access to my school records and health files, got a new debit card, and locked my phone line to block their control. I scanned my bruises, not for police yet, just evidence of their hands. 3 weeks passed, no contact. Then Carla mentioned, saw your mom at the store, worn out, struggling with a bag. I nodded, storing the image. Maya sent a photo. Liam at a laundromat, clothes in a trash bag, scowling. Dad missed work shifts, snapped at coworkers, earning a warning from his boss. A mechanic shop rumor reached me through a neighbor. The first text came. Mom's, Liam's baseball banquet Friday. Suits aren't ironed, come home. No apology, just demand. I didn't reply. 4 days later, Dad's, this is childish. Apologize. Earn your place lit up my screen. I laughed, a dry sound, screenshotting both as reminders of their arrogance. I channeled my energy into a new life. I enrolled in a community college nursing program, worked part-time at a bookstore stacking shelves, studied late under a borrowed desk lamp. It was grueling. Bus rides in Texas heat, late-night anatomy notes, but it was mine. Meanwhile, the Whitmore house crumbled. Neighbors whispered of Liam skipping practice. Mom asking the church for meal help, Dad's temper flaring at a gas station. They spun a lie. I'd left for a nursing internship, a story to mask their collapse. I didn't correct it, letting their facade crack. One night, Jenna said, "They're telling people you're maturing elsewhere." I smiled wryly. Maturity they only praise when it hides their mess. The box's impact grew. 2 days after I left it, Maya texted. Dad sat on the porch for hours, ledger in hand, face ashen. Mom avoided the mailbox. Neighbors noticed. I didn't gloat. I wanted them to feel the weight of my absence, not my anger. I moved into a studio apartment near campus, a single window overlooking a dusty lot, a shower that swung between scalding and icy, but every creak was mine. I worked, studied, folded my own laundry. 2 loads a week, a peaceful ritual. Every Friday, I lit a candle, not for healing, but because I could. The flicker a quiet rebellion against their orders. Updates trickled in. A church friend messaged, "Your dad collapsed at the store. Stress, they say." Maya saw Liam at a job fair, disheveled, yelling over a wrinkled resume. Mom joined an online group, parents of ungrateful children, posting about forgetting who fed them. They hadn't changed. They just imploded, angry at the vacuum I'd left, too proud to admit it. I no longer needed their shame to define me. Their absence no longer hurt. I'd learned peace was louder than pain if I stayed silent long enough to hear it. Then came a shift. A month later, Ryan, a coworker at the bookstore, noticed my focus. "You're driven," he said. "Nursing?" I nodded. He offered to tutor me in biology, and we studied late. His quiet support a contrast to home. One night, a knock jolted me. "Liam," eyes red, hoodie damp. "Can we talk?" he asked. I let him in, wary. He stood, hands in pockets. I didn't know it'd get this bad. Mom's a wreck, Dad's drinking, I can't keep up. I stayed silent. "I found the ledger," he said. "I didn't get it before. How much you did. I'm sorry." His voice broke. "They're mad. But I see it now." I nodded, the apology a crack in his armor. "What now?" I asked. "I'm trying to figure it out," he said. "Maybe community college." We sat, a tentative bridge forming. What would this mean for us? And how would I balance it with my new path? That question lingered. A horizon to explore. The soft hum of Austin's morning traffic filtered through my studio apartment window as I sipped coffee, the faint scent of sage from a candle mingling with the air. The ledger I'd left on my family's porch sat framed on my shelf, not as a trophy, but as a marker of the silence that had set me free. The family meeting's violence had severed ties with Dad, Mom, and Liam, their collapse a distant echo, while Liam's apology and Jenna's support had sparked a new beginning. The city's warmth, distant cicadas, the occasional train whistle, wrapped around me like a new skin. I'd escaped their control, turning their neglect into a foundation for something greater. The chipped desk in the corner, now scattered with nursing textbooks, held plans for a future I'd craft. What would I build from this freedom? That question had guided me, and now the answer was blooming into a legacy I could share. In the months after Liam's visit, the apartment felt less like a hideout and more like a home. Jenna checked in weekly, her mom Carla sending care packages with homemade cookies. "You're rewriting your story," Carla said, echoing the quiet strength I'd found. Liam texted updates, community college enrollment, a part-time job at a cafe, his efforts a fragile but real shift. Mom and Dad remained silent, their last demand, "Earn your place," a faded scar. I didn't mourn. I redirected. I used savings from my bookstore job and a small inheritance from a distant aunt to start the Carter Care Initiative, a support network for young women escaping abusive homes, offering job training, counseling, and housing leads, my way of honoring the resilience I'd built. The initiative took root with steady momentum. I partnered with a local women's shelter, pitching a pilot program to empower survivors. Donations trickled in, a $12,000 grant from a health nonprofit, $4,000 from a bookstore patron moved by my story, $800 from Jenna's church fundraiser. I enlisted Liam, his cafe skills aiding meal prep, and Tara, a counselor friend, her empathy shaping the vision. We secured a space in East Austin, a converted warehouse with high ceilings and natural light, and launched 5 months later. The Carter Hub opened on a warm March day, the air thick with bluebonnets. I stood with Liam and Tara, scissors in hand, as a crowd, survivors, volunteers, supporters, gathered. "This is for the unseen," I said, voice steady. "A place to heal, to rise." Tara cut the ribbon, cheers rising, and the room pulsed with hope. Inside, the hub thrived. A training room buzzed with Tara leading resume workshops, a lounge offered counseling sessions, and a kitchen served meals Liam helped prepare. I walked the space, the hum of recovery a balm, and sat in the office, opening my ledger again. I wrote in a journal. They made me a shadow, a servant, but I turned their silence into this. This hub is my proof. I'm enough. A plaque by the door, crafted by a local artist, read, "Strength in silence, healing in action." Its words a testament to my journey. That night the crowd thinned, and I lingered, the empty lounge quiet. On a table lay a blank planner, waiting for new plans, a symbol of lives yet to rebuild. The months that followed cemented my path. The hub grew, hosting job fairs that drew women from San Antonio, support groups that filled the lounge with shared stories, its name spreading through community boards. I hired a small team, including Sam, a 23-year-old survivor turned advocate, his passion echoing my early fight. Initiative funds supported the Carla Grant, named for Jenna's mom, aiding a teen, Mia, in nursing school. Her smile at graduation a reward beyond measure. Carla visited, bringing Dad once, his nod a grudging peace. "You've done something," he muttered, sitting by the window. We talked of old barbecues, the tension easing, a slow reconciliation. Liam thrived, earning credits, teasing, "Now I'm the cook." We started sibling Sundays, tacos, Zilker Park walks, a bond earned anew. Mom stayed silent, but Carla remained my anchor, urging, "Keep building." 6 months later, I stood on the balcony, the sun setting over the Texas horizon, casting gold across the rooftops. The hub's success, a $35,000 grant, a new counseling wing planned, filled me with pride. The studio, once a refuge, now felt like a launchpad. I traced the skyline with my eyes, the Capitol dome a distant guide, and smiled. I'd rebuilt my life, not with vengeance, but with purpose, turning pain into a platform for others. The silence from my parents had birthed this vibrancy. Liam's growth, Carla's love, the hub's heartbeat. I was whole, at peace, my legacy rooted in the community I'd nurtured. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to the Revenge Tempest channel. If you loved this story, please hit that subscribe button and join our amazing community. Drop a comment below letting us know where you watched us from. Your support keeps us going. Stay tuned for more epic tales. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to the Revenge Tempest channel. If you loved this story, please hit that subscribe button and join our amazing community. Drop a comment below letting us know where you watched us from. Your support keeps us going. Stay tuned for more epic tales. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to the Revenge Tempest channel. If you loved this story, please hit that subscribe button and join our amazing community. Drop a comment below letting us know where you watched us from. Your support keeps us going. Stay tuned for more epic tales. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to the Revenge Tempest channel. If you loved this story, please hit that subscribe button and join our amazing community. Drop a comment below letting us know where you watched us from. Your support keeps us going. Stay tuned for more epic tales.